I have a Discord server, link in the description. You can come see what I'm working on in real time. Do you like puzzles? As much fun as a puzzle can be, the issue that I have with them is that they look like you're looking at a painting through a screen window. They have this big, ugly grid on them. I find it hard to look at. I want to look at this painting, but there's all of this stuff in the way. And that issue gave me the idea to make a puzzle where the cuts make up the image. Like, for instance, you would have a tree piece or a house piece or a cloud piece where the outlines of each piece are these individual objects. So the idea of it is that the medium of the artwork is harmonious with the design instead of just interrupting it. The issue with that idea is how puzzles are actually made. The way that a puzzle gets made is that you print out a painting onto a piece of paperboard, and then that paperboard gets cut out by a giant stamp like a cookie cutter, and that makes all of the individual pieces. If I wanted to make one of those custom, it would be extremely expensive and also time consuming to actually have the kind of machinery that I would need in order to do that. It would be way too complicated. The other way that I would go about doing it is carving out each of the pieces by hand, which would be an absolutely insane way to do it and take me about 4 billion years to actually complete. More or less, I've just been sitting on this idea for probably years because I haven't had a way to actually execute it. So sometime last year, I was invited to an artist powwow at a makerspace, which is local to where I live. I went there for a couple of months, and eventually I brought my dad, and he was fully on board to join and get a membership. This place has stuff like sewing machines and CNC machines and a woodworking shop and welding, a car lift, 3D printers, a science lab, and the recording studio. But what I found the most interesting was their laser cutter, because it can basically cut any shape out of relatively thin pieces of material. And if I could figure out a way to go from a drawing to a finished puzzle thing fairly easily, then my puzzle idea would be viable. What I ended up doing was I doodled out something pretty basic on my iPad, imported it into Inkscape, converted it to a vector file, which is what the laser cutter uses, and then cut out a little test puzzle and proved that the idea was possible. And then it took me about 45 days to go from not knowing anything about laser cutters or woodworking or puzzle making to come up with one of the prototypes for the puzzle projects. This is one of the prototypes. Some of them I think I destroyed because I didn't need them or wanted to recycle parts of it. And I didn't really keep track of all of it, but whatever. I think this is the earliest remaining version that I have. These are all of the individual pieces with their unique shapes, and they slot onto the lid, or they fit into the frame that's on the back of it. Now I'm just doing the puzzle, but back on track. It took me another 54 days to make 108 of them because I had 9 characters, the Eevees, with 12 copies of each. I think I made a handful more, but I don't remember exactly how many more that I made, but it's over 120 that I completed of this specific design. This is something that I'm going to be selling at Comic-Con in a few days, and I have no idea if these are going to sell well. And I hope that they do. I think a week ago, I went to a Pokemon card show, and they sold okay there. A lot of people found them interesting, but people were there to buy cards. They had the budget to buy not very expensive things. But probably my favorite interaction while I was there was that there was this girl. She was wearing an Eevee hat. She had an Evolutions t-shirt. She had I think it was a Sylveon keychain. And you should have just seen her expression when she saw my table. It was the funniest thing. It was amazing. Just full shock and amazement. And she ended up buying a couple, and it was just it was probably my favorite interaction over that day. That's what I've been doing for the past couple of months. I think I checked my YouTube and it said that it's been 5 months since I uploaded a video, but hopefully I can get back on track with things.